Hello and welcome back, or if you are new, welcome to the channel. My name is Spellslinger. I just wanted to come at you today with another unscripted, kind of off the top of my head video discussion specifically about Thunder Dragon Colossus and whether or not it should be allowed to come back on this upcoming October ban list. Now, I did already make a ban list discussion video briefly touching on all of the cards that have been mentioned throughout the community over the last couple weeks, and I will link to that video in the description and in the little information tab in the top right hand corner. So if you want to go ahead and check that out, that will be available for you right now. But yeah, for this video, I definitely just wanted to sit down and have a discussion about Thunder Dragon Colossus. When I posted that discussion video a couple days ago, it was the card that was most debated and most discussed in the comment section, and there were a couple points that were brought up that I didn't bring up in the discussion video itself, and I wanted to briefly touch on that and have a dedicated video for that specifically. Now, before we get into that real quick, I do just want to mention only 4.5% of my viewers are subscribed. So do me a huge favor, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, comment, let me know your opinions on this card. It is super divisive, and I want to kind of just gauge what people have to say about it. So we'll go ahead and, just get straight into it. All right, now, Thunder Dragon Colossus. It's a Thunder Fusion effect monster and requires a Thunder Dragon plus one Thunder monster. It must be either fusion summoned or special summoned during a turn that a Thunder monster's effect was activated in the hand by attributing one Thunder non-effect fusion monster, in which case you do not use polymerization, and the big floodgate effect that has the community so divided. Cards cannot be added from the main deck to your opponent's hand except by drawing them. If this card would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can banish one Thunder monster from your graveyard instead. So, the community is absolutely split on this, and the first kind of point that was brought up in my comment section was that its droll effect is just that. It is literally a droll and lockbird effect. So is it fair that Colossus is banned when droll and lockbird is at 3? It's an interesting thing to point out. Obviously Colossus has, the self-protecting, effect to it, where you'll obviously have a Thunder monster in the graveyard by default getting it out, so it'll automatically have some sort of protection to go along with it. But it was very interesting to point that out. I know that a lot of people, there's like a continuing movement to either limit or ban droll just because of how oppressive of a hand trap it is. But in the current game right now, is it fair to have Colossus banned while droll is at 3? Definitely let me know what you think about that. I haven't really changed my opinion from that video that I made a couple days ago talking about Colossus specifically. I still think that Colossus should probably be able to come back to 1 without any issues. But that first argument that was made from someone who commented was something that I didn't point out in the video, so I did want to just kind of point that out. And the other point to it was that if Colossus is able to come back, apparently prank kids will be able to summon it really easily. I don't know if there's any truth to that, but if prank kids is able to get Colossus into its end boards and rotations, then that kind of just boosts prank kids even more. Even if they do get hit somewhat on the list and Colossus comes off, if prank kids are able to make it somewhat consistently, then that is also something that should be pointed out as well. I think it was the Nemesis, like a small Nemesis engine that you can use to get it out somewhat consistently, and that's also an argument for why it should stay banned. Of course, there were obviously other opinions thrown around. Just draw the out for it, and people either love or hate that opinion to some extent. Kaijus, Imperm, Droplet, there are outs to the card, and there are a lot of them. So if you draw the out to it, then you're good. If you don't, then if you're playing a meta deck, then you're kind of out of luck. I don't really know of any top deck right now that doesn't have a way around Colossus if you don't draw the out, because all of the starters, you know, either add cards, you know, from the deck to the hand so you can go into other things, or requires a some amount of setup for it. So honestly, it's very interesting to think about. Definitely let me know what you guys think about it. Honestly, the only deck that comes to mind off the top of my head that doesn't heavily require a ungodly amount of adding from deck to hand is Emancipator, and that's just because I play Emancipator, and it doesn't require a lot of setup. Not necessarily a lot of setup, but it doesn't require a lot of adding from deck to hand. You know, if you're playing the Prank Kids engine, then that hits it a little bit, but there are decks that can get around it, just not necessarily the top decks. So I don't know if that's an argument for or against it, but it is just another thing to point out. So there is that. Like I said, I still think that Colossus should be able to come back to 1 and do just fine. And you know, worst case scenario, it ends up being super bad, and when we put it back, or Konami more so puts it back on the next list. I also think that it's interesting because it has a similar like floodgate effect, not necessarily the effect, but the self-protection. Like it's that it can't be destroyed, like Winda. But the difference with Winda is, of course, that it didn't become a problem until Shaddoll Schism was introduced. So it's just something to think about. Obviously, no one likes floodgates, but I think that Colossus coming back should probably be fine. And that's, of course, just my opinion. If you disagree, feel free to let me know, or if you agree, also feel free to let me know. That's basically going to wrap things up here. I am still on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Please do me a huge favor. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. If you guys do enjoy these kind of short form videos about specific cards that people are talking about for the list, let me know. I definitely enjoy making these and talking about very specific cards and dedicating time to one video. So if you enjoy it, please let me know. I may or may not be making more in the coming days. So lots of time before the ban list comes out, so I have lots of time to make videos about specific cards. So definitely let me know. If you have enjoyed, like I said, please hit the subscribe button, and I will see you guys in a couple days for a new video. Take care. Have a great day.